What up, YouTube? Today, I wanted to briefly discuss lessons from the California Gold Rush and how we can apply that in today's world. Back in 1848, James Marshall discovered gold in 1848. And when news began to spread all across the nation, you can imagine a great deal of people began making preparations to head to California to seek their own set of riches. And when the gold rush began, I read stories where people, even practicing doctors in New York, were quitting their practice and heading to California to seek gold. People from all walks of life. Gold has been discovered. What would be the best way? That's one of the best ways to strike it rich in a short time. And so people were seeking to become incredibly rich within a short period of time. That hysteria led to a great number of migration during that time. People from all directions using all the various trails, the California Trail, the Oregon Trail, you name it, the Mormon Pioneer Trail, all of these trails people were using to get to California. And when they got there, they went in search of gold. But there are a great deal of lessons that we can learn here, because we learn from that story, the story of the gold rush and the subsequent effects and impacts on the economy and California eventually becoming a state. All these, help to make that transition as rapidly as possible. But in terms of the riches, at least what lessons we gained from that? We learned that it wasn't really the individuals who left their practice or who went in search of the gold. Many of them did not find gold, or if they did, it wasn't significant enough to make them as rich as they initially imagined. But people did strike it rich. So who were these people and what did they do? And that, my friend, is where the real story lies, because we learned that during that time, the people that truly became rich during that time were people who had the vision to see that, if gold has been found in California and these many people are rushing to California, they're going to be coming across the trails. What can we do? And the people who had that vision, they began to build cottages. They began to build stores along the trail to facilitate the travelers heading to California. And during the winter, people sold boots, people sold winter coats, and people made it incredibly rich because days and weeks and months and years, people were heading to California. And so the people who built those businesses on the trail, they became incredibly rich. And that became, building businesses along the trail was quite a profitable endeavor. People were selling, you could rent out the cottages, people were renting out to the travelers and selling all these boots and utensils and whatever equipment that the travelers needed. You could find a shop along the trail that supplied them. And those were truly the institutions and the businesses that capitalized on that gold rush. And that lesson can be applied here in today's world. It's just as relevant today as it was back in 1848, 1849, and all during the time of the gold rush. Today we see a number of innovations. We see cryptos has been around for years now. And more recently, we've seen AI also make its intro. Well, I wouldn't say making its intro. AI has actually been around, but it's only recently that we've seen truly mouth-dropping AI capability. So how do we capitalize on these innovations? with regards to crypto, I would say that the people in the long run, we would realize that the people who truly capitalize on the crypto craze, is the people who made, say, the YouTube channels and the Coinbases of the world, the Binances of the world, people who built platforms and educational content to facilitate the influx of people coming into this market. So you see, the times may have changed, but the lessons remain the same. Here we see, whereas during the gold rush, people were building cottages and stores to help facilitate the travelers. Now we see Brian building Coinbase to facilitate the influx of interest in the crypto market. You see CZ also built Binance to likewise also help out the new users in the crypto market. And so this will remain the same. And in the future, when new innovation comes within our world, it'll be the people who build products, or at least lay the pathways for people to be able to find it easier to use the product, or to maybe even make it easier enough that we can have mass adoption as quickly as possible. And so now we see this in our time as well. And so this is just a lesson, to teach us that whereas it is incredibly relevant now, the times may change, but the lessons remain the same. And so if you want to take advantage, if you want to position yourself in such a way to capitalize on any sort of innovation, these are some of the ways that you can use, or at least some of the techniques that you can use to position yourself to better capitalize on some of the innovations that we're seeing today. Thank you.